move on to Friday action here, and we have a big boy spot. Number 11th ranked Miami Hurricanes at NC State Wolfpack. Hurricanes 5-1, 4-1 in the ACC. Wolfpack 4-2, 4-2 in the ACC. Again, the weather's just perfect across America this week. It's going to be maybe our last, for those of us up north, our last week of glory before the darkness sets in. 62 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 3 miles per hour. Both teams are coming off buys. Miami and NC State have similar offenses stat-wise. The difference is defense. Miami's defense allowing 391.2 yards per game and just 22.2 points per game, while NC State's defense allowing 447.5 yards per game and 34.2 points per game. Wolfpack quarterback Devin Leary hurt, and he was very, very important. Bailey Hawkman's come in and not look good. He's thrown for 531 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 picks. NC State coming off 48-21 blowout loss at North Carolina. Miami, NC State. Miami is 9.5-point favorites, and Dennis Garcia says 9.5 feels cheap, doesn't it? Does 9.5 feel cheap? ACC action. Let's go to John Ryan. Is that cheap, the 9.5 for 11th ranked Miami?
Yeah, I thought it was going to come in around 11.5 or 12, so I agree with that. Miami, their ground attack is, despite the dual threat quarterback of King, it really hasn't been working. I don't know if that's a reflection that the DCs are now getting a chance to see him on film and they're making the adjustments. But it seems like each week they're struggling more and more just to get over 100 yards. You would think that they played a more difficult schedule than North Carolina State, but actually North Carolina State has a slight edge in strength of schedule, so that you can throw that out the window. And you can also know that you're comparing stats on an even basis. The one thing I don't like is the North Carolina State coming off the blowout loss to their state rival. That can be a hangover that carries over for at least a week. So in this game, I'm going to be passing, but supporting Miami as head coach of NC State. Dorn is 2-14 against the spread after a game in which his team committed 3 or more turnovers. So as most people know that have known me for a while, turnovers are a big part of some of my models, both in the college and the pros. They're very difficult to predict, but using history lesson here, I mean, that's a pretty good supporting stat to take Miami.
Miami at 9.5. C-Mac, what do you think here?
Yeah, it seems a little cheap. You're right with Miami. I'd like it. I wish Leary was healthy, because this would be a number or a little bit more I would take. I mean, look at North Carolina before the loss, before he got hurt. They beat Wake Forest. While their defense is leaky, they give up points. They won 45-42 over Wake, 30-29 over Pitt, 38-21 over Virginia. So they were playing well, and that injury has hurt them. So I can't play this game at all. It's a pass. But at right now under 10, if you like Miami. But you see like John said, the little bit of the revenge. They got whipped by the Tar Heels. I think it's all on the quarterback, because they're going to give up some points here. They got to score. NC State's got to stay with them. And I don't know if this backup can get it done. So I'm passing here.
Ben Sports 24/7 says, I see a 2-score win by Miami here. Canes offense will smother NC State. Last matchup, Miami took it by 14. And Dennis Garcia looking towards the under. Let's go to the man who's trying to make – not trying. The man who's making unders great again. Noli knows. What do you think of this total opening up at 58.5?
When you look at the way that Miami's been kind of going their trajectory, the defense keeps getting better and better, and their offense keeps getting worse. They haven't been able to punch the ball into the end zone as much. You look, they squeak out that win against Virginia, just 19 points, when earlier in the season they're scoring 31, 47, 52. And now 17, 31, and 19, significantly less. And their defense is stepping it up, giving up only 14 points against Virginia, 19 against Pittsburgh. And now the big question mark with NC State without their quarterback. How much are they going to be able to produce? They looked pretty bad last week against North Carolina team. Defense had given up a lot of yards through the air. The one concern, if I'm going to sit here and try to bet the under, is that I want 2 defensive teams, and I don't know if I get that at NC State. Giving up close to 450 yards of total offense. And that's just something that concerns me. If Miami gets the lead and maybe could run the clock, I would understand that. But here, the total where it's set at 57, I mean, I think that's about on par what you've seen in most of the games for NC State. I'll be off the side on total. I don't want to mess with this game too much, but I can understand why I take Miami. You know, pick on the fact of the new quarterback.
Yeah, and 9.5 might be value there.